Okay, so y'all, my face is already primed and I already did my eyebrows. If you want an eyebrow tutorial, I will post that. Just let me know down below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But today we're going to do a get ready with me. And I'm going to talk about the time when I was engaged. So, let's just jump into it. But, okay, so I met my ex-fiance when I was in high school. I hated PE. Like, I hated PE with a passion. You cannot pay me to dress out, and damn near every year I will fail. I joined ROTC, which if you know about ROTC, you know you wear we called it the picker suit here in Louisiana, but I wore the picker suit. You wear it once a week. Well, that's what I did. I see this guy and he is gorgeous, y'all. Like, he was gorgeous. So I think I told somebody and they told him. I approached him and we began to talk. Now the thing was, like, back then, for me and him, it wasn't like that serious, but it was serious. Like, he used to walk me to all my classes and carry my books. He was such a sweet back then. But so skipping all of that, because I didn't try to get that deep into high school, but that's how we met. How did we break up back then? I really do not know. I think it was kind of mutual. We were both young and, you know, we were young. Fast forward to meeting him, us getting back together after high school. So I had got into a really bad relationship and it was pretty bad. After that, I want to say, like, I was single for 9 months or so. And he made a stat saying, I lost all my contacts because we were friends on Facebook. And he was like, I lost all my contacts, so I don't have anyone's number. Send me your number in your inbox. So me being typical me, I'm like, I'm just going to send him my number and see if he texts or call me. Lo and behold, he texted or called me. I can't remember. But we went on a date. I don't even know how long after. Like, we talked for a little while over the phone and text each other and stuff. And then he took me out on a date. And our first date back then was Cheesecake Bistro. And y'all, when I say we sat and we talked for hours about school and just the old days, pretty much, because that's all we really knew about each other. So we talked for hours, and even after the date, once he brought me home, we pretty much sat in a truck and in his truck, and we still was like just talking about everything. So I want to say a little after that, he went to New Orleans on a trip with his boys. And I see that his ex-girlfriend was there. So, of course, no, we wasn't in a relationship, but I'm like, you're not about to be hanging out with her still, and, you know, we dating, like, what's really going on? So, of course, I'm feeling some type of way. So, after I saw the picture, I liked the pic. And I don't think I said anything else to him or something like that. Like, I just liked the picture, and I was like, he gonna see me like this picture, and he know what's up. So, I liked the pic, and he texted me, and he was like, it's not like that, you know, we were just cool, and nothing happened, blase, blase. But, of course, I'm like, you a guy, I don't believe that. And plus, let's remind y'all, I had just got out of a really bad relationship. So, no, I'm not that jealous type, but, you know, I was just like, he playing games. So, I want to say he called and everything, like, right after that. And I would not answer the phone. Y'all was like, I was so mad. But when I actually thought about it, I was like, Dianca, y'all not together. Like, what are you so mad for? So, I want to say I let a week or so go by. And then I text him. And we talked a little. And then, you know, he was like, let's go on another date. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So we went, and he let me pick where our date was. Like, let's go skating. I'm gonna make him skate. Any guy who will go skating, especially if they can't skate, he's a keeper, y'all. So I took him skating, and y'all, he could not skate to save his life, but he went for me. After that day, I didn't take him serious, like talking about. I didn't take him serious, y'all. Because I was like, I really think him and the ex-girlfriend still messing around. Because he was like cheesed up on that picture on some stuff. So I'm like, okay. So I wanted to go to the fair. And by this time, I had like really started dating other people. Like, I was like, I'm going to weigh my options. Because I think he's playing games. And I don't have time for that. So, I was weighing my options. And there's a lifetime friend who I had known since I was 18. And me and him had dated on and off since I was like 18. Like, I get in a relationship, he'll get in a relationship, then we'll date, then we'll do that again. Like, but we never really got in a relationship. So, me and him was supposed to go to the fair. Well, turns out he pretty much stood me up. My friend girl was like, oh, I wish you would have told me earlier, you know, whatever. So at this point, I'm like, I really wanted to go to the fair. I'm tempted to go by myself. He called me, and he was like, hey, what you doing? I was like, nothing. What's up? So, he was like, you want to go to the fair? And I'm like, you sure? Why not? He comes and we go to the fair. And y'all, once again, I'm a thrill seeker, so I like to get on every ride. Like, it does nothing to me. Of course, he's not really into all that, but he do it because that's what I wanted to do. He pretty much texted me. He was like, I think I want you to be my girlfriend. And I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, like, I'm sure. And I'm like, okay. So we made it official that day or whatever. And from that moment on, we were kind of like inseparable. We got extremely serious, like real serious. And I was like, he's perfect. Oh my God, you couldn't tell me nothing about dude. Like, we started taking trips and like everything was really perfect. And I want to say a little after that, well, fast forward to the engagement. His best friend from high school came down. He was in the Army. And his friend and my best friend was actually in a relationship. And of course, it was around the time of the fair. So we go to the fair, and as a double date, and everything was good. Like, we playing games, getting on rides. It was fun. Then he played the basketball game first, and then he goes to the football stand, and he was like, well, I guess I'll go out with a bang and try to make this last one. And of course, he didn't get the football in the hole. And I was like, oh, babe, it's okay, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, well, the Uncle Saray Williams, will you marry me? He get on his knees. And I'm like, you serious? Like, I know you fucking play with me. He was like, no, I'm serious. Y'all literally turned around and started to walk away. And he was like, the Uncle, get back here. And I'm like, wait, you serious? Like, you serious? And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, shit, yeah. The ring was gorgeous, too. Like, it was gorgeous. So, that was how we got engaged. Yada, yada, yada. He did it where our last day when we made it official was. So, he put a little thought into it. The only thing I hated that my mom didn't know, my dad didn't know, like, none of my family knew or were there. Which is okay with me, but you know how those moments just have this spark? There wasn't a spark. I was just like, oh yeah, we getting married. I think my best friend was more excited than I was at that time. But anywho, at this time, our relationship was still pretty good. We were good. Problems started happening once we moved in together. Y'all, if you do not have to live with your significant other, don't. And honestly, I go back and forth with myself on that because I feel like that's the only way you really, really know who someone is and you really find out how they are. But for me, I probably would never shack again. Well, ain't no problem. I'm never shacking again. Like, I like the whole we stay at each other's house. You go home, I go home, type of thing until I'm married. But anywho, we already did the same thing as far as work goes. We lived together. We did everything together. It was never like, besides like girls' nights and stuff like that. But it was never really any separation for us. It was always togetherness. And I believe that became a problem. I started seeing like how he looked at life and things. Like I told y'all, I grew up in the hood, so material things didn't really mean much to me. And I noticed for him, it started to be like kind of where he valued material things. And it became a problem in our relationship. Like, it started to aggravate me. I'm not going to say it was like the ultimate problem, but it started to really aggravate me. I'm like, it's crazy. But apartment caught on fire. The neighbor we had, me and my best friend, her air unit caught on fire. So it burned into our apartment. And me and her was gonna get another apartment, but instead I was like, this is my fiance. We were eventually gonna move in together anyway. Me and him decided to just move in together. So I moved into his parents' house because what we were gonna do, the plan was for us to get married first, save all the money we could for our wedding, and our down payment on our home, and then move into our house. So that was our plan, that was our goal, and that's what we were planning to do. So moving into his parents' house, which I honestly could say was not bad because his people were super nice and sweet people, but I was so used to having my own space, and I wanted my own again. So I kept telling him, I was like, you know, if we don't move, I'm gonna move without you, and yada yada yada. And he was like, if you move, we over. And I was like, well, I guess we're gonna be over then. Like, I meant I wanted my own space, and that's what was gonna happen. So eventually he kind of, I started looking, and I kind of won him over with the idea of moving into our own place or whatever. So that's basically what we did. We got our own place. And right before we moved, I started really telling him, because we were having problems, y'all. And I started telling him, like, I wasn't happy. I was like, you know, I'm pretty much unhappy. Like, I was really trying to end the relationship. And I was like, you know, I didn't know what completely made me unhappy, but I wasn't happy anymore. And we both cried. He cried first. We both cried because I don't think we really gave it the shot that it deserved, you know? So at that point, I decided, like, you know, let's try and work it out, and let's see if, you know, we can fix our relationship. After that point, we end up getting our own place. I honestly believe he never got over me trying to break up with him. And he held that against me the whole time. So, fast forward to our breakup. One day, well, he had an all-white party for his job, which he did not invite me to. Let me remind you. At this point, he was going with friends. We used to go out together, and at some point, we kind of stopped. I wasn't really going out like as much because of my job. And we worked at 2 different stations, so we didn't technically work together. We just did the same thing. At my job, I was able to pull more hours than he did. And I was working like a lot. Like a whole lot. So he was going out with, we had a mutual friend. And, you know, they were hanging out. His all-white party for his job, and I was going to be at home by myself. And at first I said I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't going to do anything. But I didn't want to be at home by myself, so I called up my good friend, which I call her my PNC. I called her and was like, let's go out. And she was like, cool. So we go out. Remind y'all, I have him on my engagement ring. We go out, and prior to that, my nephew did some bad stuff, and I gave him a cell phone. Well, I ended up taking the cell phone back, and I took the cell phone back, and it was at the house, at the apartment that me and my ex-fiance stayed in. So me and my girl go out, and I always called and checked in and that type of stuff, because I figured he would make it home before I did. So I called him, and I told him that I was at the food truck, and, you know, getting food, and I'll be home shortly. His words to me was, okay, see you in a few. I'm not thinking anything's wrong. Everything's fine. Okay, he'll see me in a few. So I get home, and he was like, that phone was ringing. So, yeah, we've never been the type to hold secrets. He look at my phone. I look at his phone. So I'm like, well, who was it? And he was like, I don't know. And I look at the phone like, oh, I don't know this number either. So I'm thinking, it's somebody for my nephew. Now, the phone was there with him. He knows the passcode and everything to the phone. He could have answered it. He could have did whatever he wanted to do to the phone. I wasn't there. So, he tells me whoever it was sent the text message saying it was nice meeting you. Hope to see you again or something like that. Now, remind you, I have my cell phone with me. That was the phone that I gave to my nephew. I feel that if I was going to give my number out that night, I would have gave them the number of the phone that I had, not the number of the phone that was at the house with my ex-fiance. But, okay, I am a woman. We are pretty smart when it comes to stuff like that. I don't think I'm that stupid to give him a number of the phone that's at the house of my ex-fiance. But apparently, he thought so. So I'm like, I didn't give my number out. Like, what are you talking about? So he was like, okay, cool. We get in the bed, we cuddle, and we go to sleep. The next day, we was doing a dance reunion for my old dance team, and we had practice. So I gets up to go to practice. I kiss him and everything, and I go to practice. When I come from practice, oh crap. I come from practice, and like I always do, I'm ready to tell him about my day. And he, like, ignoring the crap out of me. So I'm like, dude, like, do you hear me? And he was like, yeah, I hear you. I'm just waiting on you to tell me who there was last night. So I'm like, are you serious right now? I'm like, I told you I didn't know. Like, I don't know what you wanted me to tell you. So he was like, is it that big of a coincidence that somebody gonna say it was nice to meet you that night and you didn't give your number out and yada yada, like pretty much just accusing me, saying it was my fault, and it had to be somebody that I knew and that I had met, and that I gave my number out. So I'm like, dude, you was here with the phone. You could have just answered it or text whoever it was back to verify however you feeling. Like, all of a sudden today, this is what you want to talk about? Like, really? Y'all, we have never questioned each other about stuff like that. And never cheated. So, it didn't make sense to me. So, that day goes by. We start talking to each other. Like, there was no communication whatsoever between us. Like, we just was on horrible terms. So, the day after that, we both go to work. I got off earlier than him, and Love and Hip Hop was on. So, I'm on the couch, because we didn't get in the bed without each other. I'm on the couch with my throne, watching Love and Hip Hop, waiting on him to get home. And he comes in. It had to be like around 8. It was pretty late. He comes in with this attitude. And he's like, we need to talk. So I'm like, okay. So he was like, who is this guy? Who was that texted you? And you know who it is? And I'm like, I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Like, I keep telling you, I don't know what else you want me to say. So he was like, I'm done. So I'm like, okay, you done. And then I had to think, I'm like, well, done with what? Like, what are you done with? So, at that moment, y'all, he pretty much broke up with me because he felt like I was cheating on him. And I knew who the guy was, who texted the phone, or girl, whoever it was. I knew who that person was who texted the phone, and he thought I was cheating. Well, let's just say A few weeks later, he's in another relationship. So, you tell me who was really cheating. Like I said, I think he never really got over me trying to break up with him before, and I was trying to actually fix and work on our relationship, but he had other plans, which is okay with me. Just he should have just let me break up with him when I tried to. But yeah, so I even tried to offer let's go to counseling. Like, I was really trying to work our relationship out, and he pretty much claimed that he was over it. So I was like, cool. Even though, sorry y'all, I pretty much knew we was not meant to be, because of prior situations, life, and you know, it was a lot of things that revealed itself. And I was, oh crap, on my cover. I was basically trying to hold on to the relationship, and it was already gone, you know. So I should have just, once he pretty much decided that he wanted to end it, like, I should have just been like, cool, whatever. But I guess because I had got myself back into it, I didn't want it to end like that. Especially not being accused of something that I really didn't do, you know. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. And that was one of those situations. Like, it was just time to end it. So, y'all, my face is pretty much done. And that was how our relationship ended. How I ended my how my engagement ended. Now I am in another relationship, and he's a really good guy, and we'll see where this goes. I ain't rushing into nothing, no marriage, no engagement. I'm taking my time. But for those of you who are engaged, it's a beautiful thing. I love. I would never say I wouldn't do it again. That one just wasn't the right one, and I knew it. I think he knew it, but was trying to hold on to the past and how good it was before for us, and it just didn't work. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.